Hey, everybody, it's Winter with the Shift Spotlight. And today we are here with Adam Levin, who is the CEO of Information Experts. And he can be found at informationexperts.com. So, Adam, I wanted just to say thanks for joining us today. We know you're super busy. You're traveling right now. You're not even at your home base, and you still made time to share your knowledge with our listeners. So we're very grateful for you to be here today.
I appreciate the invitation, the opportunity to connect with you today.
Awesome. So we're going to dive into, a bunch of great stuff today. But first, at a high level, why don't you tell our listeners exactly what you do?
Absolutely. So Information Experts is an award-winning strategic communications agency that acts as an outsourced marketing solution to small, medium businesses and nonprofit. So basically, we offer our services hopefully on a subscription basis to small, medium-sized businesses that are marketing business to business or business to government. That's really our niche. And we feel we have a great niche where when I define small businesses, anything less than 50 employees, I feel very strongly and confident. I have multiple case studies that say, hey, instead of hiring a VP of marketing or marketing director, you can outsource those functions to our agency, and I'll have a whole team work on your deliverables, and we'll deliver more value and more results for less money than you would pay for a full hire.
Gotcha. Okay. And so something that you talk about quite a bit on your website is authentic marketing. So, I'm a huge fan of authenticity. Sometimes I think marketing can get really convoluted, and it can be sort of this catchy phrase that nobody really understands. And when you're trying to be too markety, I think it comes across that way. So what is authentic marketing?
So authentic marketing to me is, I think, I feel confident that people want to do it's a cliche, know, like, and trust. And ultimately, people will, if you're inauthentic and you're not focused on their needs and helping them solve their problem and delivering value, people are going to sniff that out immediately, right? So at the end of the day, your mindset has to be, hey, Winter, I understand these are your challenges. This is how we're going to help you solve this problem. And this is the value we're going to deliver. And these are the results you're going to get. And I think just having that mindset of putting the client first and really being focused on what their needs are. And then, the returns for you will come afterwards, but the bottom line is your initial mindset has to be about solving the problem and also being real, saying, hey, I can do this. And if you can't do it, that's okay. Act as a value-added resource and refer someone else who is an expert in that niche. Like, we're dynamite on B2B marketing and B2G marketing, right? So if someone is a plumber who wants to drive leads to his plumbing supply company, that's not our niche, but I know people who are really good at that and just don't take things just for money, really feel that, hey, I'm going to hit a home run, I'm going to deliver for you. And I think having that mindset first is authentic marketing.
Gotcha. So then, what separates you from other agencies out there? There's a million marketing agencies, and they're all saying they're the best. They are going to do marketing automation. They're going to warm your email list. They're going to Frank Kern you into, multi-million revenue sales. What separates you from the others?
Great question. Okay, first of all, most of my competitors, super talented people, exceptionally talented. Most of them are graphic designers or web developers, and they went to art school. Mm-hmm. Crazy talented, brilliant people. I did not go. I went to business school. I have a degree in marketing. I've started a couple of businesses. And we separate our deliverables by strategy, content, and design. So for me, I want to find out where you are now, where do you want to go, and then design a whole marketing plan, including building out the content and then executing on the design as part of our overall deliverable. So for us, the strategy is first, right? versus my competitors. A lot of them, again, they're dynamite people. They went to art school. They're thinking about how to make it look pretty. I'm focused on the strategy, and then we're going to execute on award-winning level. I hire award-winning designers, so I will execute on the design, but I'm not leading with the design. I'm leading with the strategy.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're basically acting like a fractional CMO.
That's exactly what we are. We're a fractional CMO for small to medium-sized businesses, but instead of hiring a specific person, we bring in a whole team. Like,
gotcha. Okay. So then how many employees do you have?
I have 6 employees.
Okay. And so then you're building this business. How long have you been doing this?
I've had the company for 25 years. It's gone through multiple iterations. Within the last 3 years, we've really focused on the digital marketing space within the commercial market, specifically small to medium-sized businesses.
Gotcha. So 25 years, you've seen a lot of ups and downs, lefts and rights, and everything in between. Mm-hmm. If you could go back to your younger self and give yourself one key tip in building your business, because our CEOs, they're hungry for knowledge. They want to avoid some of the mistakes that some people with tenure have made. What would you go back to your younger self and say, hey, look, this is what you could do?
That's a loaded question. I don't know if we have time for that. But I would say on a very high level, really focus on your ideal client profile, right? Make sure that it's a match, right? And trying to tell a 30-year-old not to do something just for money is very difficult, right? To be able to say no to certain guys, and I was obviously guilty of that. So you can't. At the end of the day, I'm in my late 50s now. I want to make sure I'm a match. If I could go back to my earlier self, I would say, hey, man, don't. That's not going to be a good long term. There's going to be a lot of aggravation. Walk away. And yeah. I don't know if you can tell a 30-year-old that, but I would like to tell my 30-year-old self that.
Well, and niching is so important in marketing. And I think when you try to be all things to all people, you fall short in every aspect. And, when I first got started into like, I have a background in real estate, and I studied marketing at Florida State back when our football team was good. And, and so, they would say you need to specialize. So when I first got started in real estate, I would, only work with buyers and sellers. And there were agents who were working with renters and property managers and buyers and sellers. And I decided, it was during the foreclosure market, I decided I was going to be a good deal specialist. All I did was specialize in good deals. And it was just, it was buyers who were looking for a good deal. And my business absolutely exploded, as opposed to trying to work with renters, work with sellers, work with buyers. So I think when you say ideal client, what you're really saying is niche. And it's okay to say no, to turn down business that doesn't align, but to have that confidence to turn down that business, because a lot of times we say, well, I need to get that food on the table this week, or I need to get that payroll paid this week. So maybe I should just go ahead and take this client. It won't be that bad, but they end up taxing your resources, taxing your time, wearing your people down, and they weren't worth the money that they were paying.
In some cases, if you do the math and you are honest with yourself, it costs you money, right? Because it's a lose-lose. Because at the end of the day, you didn't deliver your total expertise to the client, and you wound up your whole team and spent a ton of resources trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Right. When we start out as CEOs, nobody gives us a book for how to do this. There's lots of leadership books out there, but until you're running your own company, it's just like having a kid. Until you have your own kid, you don't know how you're going to parent, and you say, I'll be better than my parents, but you just don't know. So what were the 2 things that you struggled with the most in the beginning of becoming your CEO, and how did you solve them?
Great question. All right, I think Winter, one of my biggest struggles when I was initially, you're young, you're full of vinegar, was I was managing from more of a top-down approach, like saying, hey, do this because I said so, right?
I'm paying
that's
you.
not
I'm
effective
paying your
versus
payroll. You're going to do it my way.
exactly. This is the way I want it done. I'm running your payroll. Be quiet and do it. Is
Yeah.
basically you're a little more subtle than that, but not much. Versus now, to drive engagement, you want to sit down and explain, hey, we're doing this. This is the overall strategy. You're an integral part of this. I'm asking you to execute on this part of our strategy so we can get this result. And spending the extra few minutes explaining to your team, hey, this is what we're doing and this is why we're doing it. And when you do that, you get buy-in and engagement versus people yelling at them, basically saying, hey, you better do this because I said so. It's much more effective. Everyone's happier, the productivity is higher, the engagement is higher, and you're delivering better results both internally and externally.
Yeah, yeah. It's that one's a tough one because very few leaders are born that way. They're very few. Leaders are truly like at the shift spot. We believe leaders are made. You've got to practice that muscle, just like going to the gym, and you learn with how to deal with people. That's really how you get to test that leadership muscle and see, like, did I do good? Did I not do good? And in this day and age, with the multi-generations that are out there, you've got to talk to this employee this way, this one this way, consider this factor with this, if you want to keep the right talent and the good talent. Otherwise, you're going to lose them. And so like, it's not as much even about having the right people as much as retaining it and then who you have to be in order for you to retain it.
Absolutely.
And
it does. And I have colleagues that are HR specialists, and they can quantify the cost to replace someone versus retaining them. I think it's a multiple of 5 or 6, the same. So it's in everyone's best interest to do your best to retain people. Like, I'm super excited. I have one guy's going to be with me for 10 years this year, which I think is, but I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, you got to do something really special for him.
Yes.
All right, so we'll wrap this up here, but I'm curious, where do you see yourself investing resources for growth over the next year? We're on this year where I think there's a lot of uncertainty out there, and election years are always historically weird. It doesn't matter who gets in office. Everything kind of relaxes once they do get in office, but that time leading up to it, everybody kind of reins it in and they sort of kind of hold their breath and like wait for something to happen. So where, as a marketing firm, do you see yourself investing resources for growth?
So again, we're going to go deeper within our existing client base. So I think that's one. And also, I feel strongly that our value proposition can also be cost savings, right? Because if people are worried and they have a marketing director on the payroll, 75, 80 grand, we can go in there and help them deliver the same results for less money. So for us, for the growth is going to be, we're going to expand with our existing clients, continue to help them be very successful. And as far as growth, I think if people are pulling back on expenses, we can help there as well.
And that's in my experience of marketing and having done it for many, many companies before I was doing it for myself. This is the time to double down on marketing more than ever, because number one, your competition's not doing it and they're pulling back. So like, number two, your client base, they need to see you out there more than ever, because if you now go in hiding, out of sight, out of mind. And number three, I mean, if there's less people out there marketing, you're probably going to get a little bit better, interest and better exposure. So this is when a lot of people rein in, but I always go against the grain. And when everybody's doing one thing, I'm kind of doing the other. And it's just something I've always done. And it's worked out for me my entire life. And I encourage others to, adopt that mindset. When you see everybody doing one thing, like when everybody's trying to buy a house, you wait. When nobody's buying a house, you buy, because that's where the biggest returns come from, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Now is the time to really ramp up. When people are running, it's the time to ramp up your marketing, because then it's a huge opportunity. There's a you have an opportunity to grab market share.
And so what are going to be your goals for the company as a whole in 2024?
So I think we're running at about a 30% top line revenue growth rate. So I want to manage the growth. I don't want crazy growth. I think we can do another 20% moving forward for growth. I think that's where we want to be on top line. We want to continue to expand our service offering within our existing client base. So we're adding different services where we can help clients. So I think we're trying to become a complete solution, not only in the marketing, but we're also starting to help with some of the sales support.
Awesome. Okay. So if people wanted to get a hold of you, what is the best way for people to reach you, or if they needed your services?
Perfect. So thank you very much for that. My email is alevin@informationexperts.com. And my Calendly link is calendly.com/A11-2. So I get super excited, jumping on a call for 10, 15 minutes and connecting with new people. I'll do that all day. So please reach out to me. If myself or my agency can't help you, I will absolutely have a crazy network and I will connect you with the right person.
And I think that's really important, because when you're looking for marketing help, there's so many snake oil salesmen out there. There's so many people who promise X, Y, and Z, and, they can deliver this and they don't. And so if you're not the right guy and you have the network of somebody who could say, hey, look, here's the right guy for this, or the gal, whatever, that's great. So people have a friend in you, right? There's somebody that they can trust you. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly,
awesome.
Because you want to build that trust. Because
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say, to your point, you want to build that trust, even if you can't help them. You want to be known as, hey, Adam couldn't help me, and information experts couldn't help me, but he recommended somebody, they did a great job, and you want to be known for that. Right.
Okay, so again, the website that they can be found at is informationexperts.com. And Adam, we loved having you today. So thanks so much for your time.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Winter.